Good evening, beautiful people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities. This is Tanya Aarons coming to you from her sacred space at Titania's realm. It's late in the evening, it's 10:26 p.m. on the 25th of June 2024, and I'm fairly exhausted. I've not long come home. I've just devoured 2 pies that I cooked in my air fryer because I decided I was hungry again. But I spent the day with my beautiful friend Lynn, and we went and had lunch at the Alexandra Hotel, which was very nice. And then we went shopping at Capalaba Central, I think it's called. And went and checked out a crystal shop that was quirky and very delightful women that owned it. And they actually rent out some of their shelving space for people that want to sell their wares. So I might even have a go at displaying some of my jewellery and knitted fairies there, and just they're lying around here doing nothing. They might as well sit in a shop, and maybe someone might buy them, maybe not, but you don't know if you don't try. So I'm considering that, and it's all very lovely. And then after that, we went and did a little bit of, got a few bits and pieces of groceries, and went back to Lynn's, and spent the rest of the afternoon and evening chatting. And I was actually astonishingly tired all day, so I've pushed and pushed and pushed my energy reserves through, and I've had a lovely day, and I should be throwing myself into bed right now, but I didn't have time to make a video today because I was out, and I don't want to fall behind, and I'm feeling like the muse is with me, and I want to persevere and keep going. So there is that. So here we are, gorgeous ones. It is Memories of the 25th of June 2024, and is titled Survival of the Bravest and Most Loving, and yes, determined. Oh my goodness. Mama T on a roll, fighting against her own limitations can be quite astonishing at times, and I can be quite determined. So even though I'm tired and kind of feel like I should just maybe faint or something, I'm going to persevere and carry on. Here's a photo taken on the 25th of June 2015 of my beautiful cat Penny, who is much beloved and very much missed to this very day. There she is, my beautiful girl, my healer, my soulmate, my friend, my beautiful Penny cat. What can I say, people of Earth? Waiting for me beyond the veil with all the other cats and dogs and birds and even a horse, all up there waiting for me one day. Don't forget all the goldfish and betterfish and, oh dear goddess. So much love is awaiting me on the other side. But in the meantime, we manifest the love on this side of the veil and this physical incarnation. And we take delight in great and small things and be happy. Oh, I want to show you. I'll be back. Just one moment. So my daughter Crystal bought this bag for me, I think for my birthday last year, and I hadn't used it yet because I've been using my original bag that I bought came from Bali, and I've been using it till it became quite dirty. I might even try and get it cleaned and rehabilitate it a bit. Rehabilitate, that's not the right word. Renovate it a bit. But I love that turquoise blue bag, and then my daughter bought me this beige bag, and because I was still using the other Shaymanik bag, I had this put away in my wardrobe, and I brought it out for Saturday night, wore it out dancing, and it's a very nice bag. I don't normally wear beige though, but you know, it was a very nice thought of my daughter, and time to wear this bag since my other one's getting a bit wrecked, right? And anyway, this bag came with this kind of fake fur tail and little dream catcher, which again I might zhuzh up a bit. And I didn't actually like this very much because it looks kind of tacky because it's fake and it's manky. Well, it could have been brushed out. But today in the crystal shop, they had the most beautiful taxidermied animals and tails. So I couldn't resist buying this tail because it's a perfect match for this lovely beige bag. So I'm going to rip this one off and leave this one on, and maybe zhuzh up the little dream catcher somehow. Put some more exciting beads on it. Just realised it forms kind of a Star of David shape too. Isn't that sweet? So anyway, Mama T, with her mad, creative, artistic, quirky ways, spoilt herself with a furry frippery today. And honestly, I needed it like a hole in the head, but I was so delighted because only 3 days ago, when I took that bag out and wore it out dancing for the first time, I thought, I don't like that manky tail on it. I want to get a real fur one. And where will I get a real fur one from? I have no idea. And I just kind of stored it away in the back of my mind because, you know, got way more interesting things to think about than tails. And literally, what is it today? Tuesday? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 days later, I manifested the most perfect tail to match that beige bag. So, Mama T is on some kind of vibe, man, because her manifestations are coming true very quickly and very authentically and very astonishingly. So I better be very, very careful what I put too much focus on, because if I could manifest that tail to match that bag in 3 days, babies, where is my $20 million? I'm joking about the $20 million. Let's not be greedy. The universe gifts me accordingly, and I'm grateful to be receiving, and life is beautiful. And yeah, but it did blow my mind a little bit that literally no sooner I thought, I could improve on that, bang, it came. So there you have it. I just thought I'd share that with you because I think it's kind of delightful and a bit magical and sweet. And don't we all love it when our little, you know, wishes and yearnings and dreams come true with harm to none and competition from none, babies. Anyway, so we'll carry on with today's readings of even date, the 25th of June 2023. 4 years since my NDE after the cholecystectomy. That means gallbladder surgery, by the way, for the non-clinical and the uninitiated. By the Jesus, was I initiated? That filthy fucking hospital was sort of an initiation in a way. Mama T had to go to war, of course, but that's the initiation, babies. The gods wanted to see if I would defend my own honour and the rights of any future patients that go into that hospital for the same surgery after me. to be treated with basic human dignity and decency, by the way. Did I go to war in my own little quiet, mama tea hobbit way? Still a little bit traumatised about it 5 years later, to be honest. But anyway, on we go. I've had a beautiful day and I'm not going to let the shades of the past wear me down. Just saying. A lot has changed, intense spiritual and personal growth. I wrote this 1 year ago, so it was 4 years after that surgery. Gratitude to the gods. I still have a long way to go, depending on the allotted time gifted to me. Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. But boy, I can see the progression. It's been incredibly amazing. Yes, it has. I went from almost dying to creating some very lovely things. Exhibit A, I was trying to copy this pop metal, very cheap metal, tacky kind of cheap bunny rabbit ring into sterling silver, and apart from the fact that its ears were a little bit shorter than they should have been, I managed it, and I made it for my daughter Crystal, who wanted the bunny ring very much. So let me just scroll down. Ta 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 ta. So here it looks kind of a little bit funny because I had to kind of, file it and reshape it a bit and fix his little face and fix his little feet. But it came up okay. It's funny that it came up in my memories this evening, because this morning when I got up, now I made that a year ago, I thought, I made that bunny ring for Crystal and now we don't even fucking speak to each other really, and I feel a bit fucking distraught about that. And I thought, you know what, I should just make another bunny ring for myself, right? Am I right? Because the intention was always to gift it to Crystal, because she'd actually kind of ordered it, like, Mummy, can you make me this bunny ring? And I said, I'll make it for you in sterling silver. And she was like, okay, Mummy. And anyway, I hope she's wearing her ring with good health and joy and delight, and occasionally remembers her mother with sweetness and happiness and fond feelings. Oh, well. I rang her on Tuesday last week when I was about to launch into my breakdown over a fucking sleep study, would you believe? She was very kind and supportive, considering we hadn't spoken for 9 months. And then I rang her again on the Wednesday, and she was mean to me again. And I was like, you know what? Why do I even? Number one, why did I even bother becoming a mother in the first instance? And number two, why do I even put up with this toxic, negative shit of trying so hard to keep my little family together? And, and then anyway, by that stage, I had other issues going on that were contributing to my massive fucking breakdown. So I didn't have time to even think about worrying about what my daughter thinks of me and feels about me and why she doesn't want me in her life, because we all know why, don't we? We all know why. So anyway, I just thought, you know what, fuck it. No, I'm going to choose to be happy no matter what. So I had to soldier through, Wednesday and Thursday, existing on at 1 Valium per day, and I'm not happy about that. I don't ever want to resort to psych meds of any form, but I had to calm the fuck down. And you may have noticed from my videos the last couple of days, I've been all over the place. I've been riding my own wave of my own energy meridians and my own psyche and my own soul, and it's been a little bit delightful but also intense at times. And I'm thinking, oh man, I just need to calm the fuck down. So I'm glad I had a lovely day with my friend Lynn, because actually in the shopping centre we met a very unusual man that she sort of knows from going around the shops and talking to everyone. She said she's, spoken to him before. Very unusual. It was a Māori man, very, very nice man. Really, really thick, heavy, long dreadlocks. And I said, oh, his name was Kevin. I said, oh, I love your dreadlocks, Kevin. He said, yep. He said, they used to reach down to my feet, but I've been growing them for 40 years, he said, but I've had to cut them a bit shorter. But they were still like amazing dreadlocks. And apart from that, he was a very, very kind, sweet man. We had a good old chat. We ended up, the three of us, having a cappuccino together. Actually, no, Lynn didn't have a drink. He and I had a cappuccino. And yeah, we chatted, and it was interesting conversation. Covered quite a few topics. I won't go into what, but a very interesting conversation. And a nice experience, random, out of the blue, spontaneous, and delightful. Nothing romantic. He was a married gentleman, and Lynn's married, and I'm, as always, living my best life, being wild and free, and just, occasionally when I meet interesting people, engaging with them and talking with them, and just forming acquaintanceships, I guess. But yes, he said he'd been way out west to a place called Mitchell, out past Roma. So I've been nowhere. I've been stuck in Brisbane for 36 years, and I'm getting a bit irritated about my, open air prison. Self-imposed, because I don't like to travel too far afield on my own, because I don't feel safe. So he sort of looked at me a bit funny. He said, oh, I have to get away. He said, I'd go nuts otherwise. I was like, yeah, I hear you. I'm going quietly nuts in my open air prison myself. But I said, I'd probably be scared to drive that far away, from my home, because a woman on her own, and don't have a lot of money. I don't have money for accommodation, and I don't have a lot of money for petrol. And if something goes wrong, I'm kind of, puts me in a precarious situation. And he understood. But anyway, he was out that way, he said, at Mitchell, because there's artesian pools there, and he was having like a hot pool. I said, oh, are they what, like Rotorua in New Zealand? He went, yeah, they are, but not quite as hot. So I thought that was interesting. Something I learned today. Didn't know there were hot pools out west Queensland. I knew there was a few hot pools up at Toowoomba, but I didn't know there were others around. Well, if you don't travel, you don't know, do you? You don't know shit. You just live in your own little tiny box, slowly dying of mediocrity and boredom. So yes, it made me think that maybe I should be more risk-taking and adventurous and start, going on day trips further afield. And I certainly can't wait around for, other people to take me. I just have to carpe diem and make my life happen for me, right? Am I right? Even though it's a little bit risk-taking. I'll just have to make sure that I have enough money for petrol and food wherever I go, and maybe take a sleeping bag or sleep in the car or something, just fuck it. Why am I living here like the living dead, waiting for whatever's supposed to be happening with our planet, not even living life? It's ridiculous. It's just, why have I been on some kind of limbo land or zombie land for 36 fucking years? Why, people of Earth? I don't know. I don't know why. Well, partially I do know why, but, well, anyway. Here's another photo of that ring after I'd finished polishing her up a bit and scrubbing her up. And yeah, she's got one short ear. My daughter said she didn't mind though, because rabbits often put one ear forward, so it looks like she's, poking one ear. Anyway, it was my first attempt, and I had trouble casting her in Delft clay because of the ears and the pointy bits, she really needed to be cast in the lost wax centrifuge type method of casting her. So anyway, it was my first effort and I tried, and it's kind of cute actually. That nothing has to be completely perfect really. Anyway, my hashtag was Titania's Realm, 8:01 p.m. finished few. I might add liver of sulphur tomorrow to darken up the details. Titania's Realm, rabbit, pinky ring, sterling silver, casting, magic happens, the fairies make me do this, happiness. And then I wrote, damn it, I'm wearing my fat bunny man and just, becomes a man now. This time I thought it was a little female bunny. Now it's a man bunny. Does it matter? No. And just discovered, one ear is shorter than the other. Luckily he's not made for selling, but still all that work and now he's deformed. So I was a bit pissed off about that, with myself, because I tried so very hard and worked so very hard on it. But anyway, it is what it is. 2022, 25th of June. Whatever post was attached to that, they took it down anyway because cowards, malfeasant, media whores interfering with my creativity. But the preface to it is still there, that's how I know they've removed whatever I was writing about at the time, and I don't remember what it was now. But I wrote here, trigger warning, my political affiliations, or lack thereof, spirituality, religious beliefs are my own. If you don't like it, don't read or follow my journaling on Vocal Media or anywhere else in the known universe. But I am a free person, even though I'm too scared to travel further afield than a few hours driving, for the love of all the gods. Well, I do have sleep apnea and it is dangerous to drive more than 3 hours, by the way. And reserve the right to my own mind, heart and soul. I will not be silenced. The truth remains the truth, no matter how many times other people try to vanquish it. And then whatever was attached to that, the mofos deleted it anyway. So, you see, you can't deal, when you're dealing with evil, you just have to let it roll off your shoulders sometime and just keep going. When going through hell, just keep going, babies. That's my motto. Actually, it wasn't my motto. It was Winston Churchill's motto, but I kind of adopted it because I like it, and there is that. Anyway, I also wrote there, 2 a.m, still awake, fuck. Prednisone hypomania is dodgy as fuck. I still have transcribing of all my memories to do tomorrow. My mind will snap if I do any more tonight. So I'd written a shit ton of stuff and then some malfeasant turd removed it. Oh! All right. Anger is a useless emotion unless you can actually turn it into action and reclaim your power and your writings from some, I don't know, wherever they put your stuff when they remove it. Probably laugh at you behind your back in some little seedy little gentleman's club puffing on cigars and scratching their balls, am I right? But anyway, wherever they take your writings when they steal them from you off your own page, I want it all back. Because I stand by my truth, by the way. 25th of June 2021. 2 years since that awful surgery. I have begun to heal at last. Jesus. Another colonoscopy due on 26th of July. Then, hopefully, it takes me 2 months to recover usually. will be smooth sailing for a while. No, it won't. Had to reject all of them because of more malfeasances. I mean, it's just appalling. It's appalling what I've been put through. But anyway, every day and every way, Mama T soldiers on, does she not? Yes, she does. I'm a powerful healer, self-healer, and I'm a powerful manifester, and I am a powerful spirit. And if I had a lover that actually was authentic and genuine and wanted me to, together we would be having powerful, potent love relationship. And anyway, it's all in the lap of the gods. Am I right? I'm right. Here I write, it's a cold and rainy day, not long awake. Spirit or higher mind are still encouraging me to buy ebony and make jewellery from it. I find this a tad strange, but I priced some blocks of ebony wood on eBay. You can get small blocks for $50. I guess I could give it a try sometime, which I did. I made a few pairs of earrings in them and laid some power shell into them, and I'm quite proud of my efforts actually. Ebony is a lovely wood to work with, and it comes up lovely for jewellery, and I was, very happy with it. I saw some lovely purple spalted wood too. They are selling it to make pen blanks. It was expensive though. I have very expensive tastes. Yes, I do, babies. It's frustrating. But the ebony idea was not my own idea, so someone is tweaking my spirit again. It was a spirit-led intuition to buy ebony and try to make jewellery from it. I wonder what the higher ideal really is. A test to see if I obey commands like a good little dibbock-ridden human. Crystal has some old piano keys. I might ask her if there are any ebony ones to see if I can make something out of it and find out what all the spiritual nagging is about. They really were nagging me about ebony. It went on for like nearly a week. If she still has them and is willing to give me a piece. It's a tad perturbing when ideas come to me and are so persistent, especially when initially it wasn't my own idea. It was literally gifted to me by who really? Some supernatural figure that was very determined for me to go on the ebony journey. Wow, it's all very lovely, isn't it? When you have angels and spirit guides and ancestors that love you and gods to inspire and motivate you along the way. Still in 2021, I've had this bracelet since early childhood. My mother used to buy the charms as regular gifts. Recently I cleaned, my mother could be very generous, by the way, when she wasn't being a fucking narcissistic psychopath. I think between her brutality, she would have moments when she would feel guilty, so she would buy me lovely presents. I think it was more to assuage her own abuse dynamics than really, I don't know, maybe I'm being mean. Maybe she really did have moments when she loved me and wanted to flow things to me, but it's hard to understand because she could be such a fucking monster at other times. Yin and yang people, yin and yang. Sometimes yanking the fucking chain too. A little bit too much. Recently I cleaned the silver bracelet in baking soda and tin foil, which was a very bad mistake. And it was too harsh and stripped most of the paint off the charms. I'd had that bracelet since I was about 7 or 8. I was rather distressed about it. So today the triple glaze varnish arrived from America. So I spent the entire afternoon trying to paint the charms as close to the original paintwork as I could get. Mind you, they were actually done with enamelling. And then I contacted an enamelling group that I'm in on Facebook, and they said you can't enamel sterling silver charms. And I went, that's not true, because they were enamelled. They were originally enamelled. And then this expert decides to have a massive fight with me and make me look stupid. And then I arced up and said, no, but they were always enamelled. And, oh, well, you don't have the skills to do it. It was really condescending and fucking awful, quite frankly. So I thought, well, fuck you. Who are you anyway? I don't know you from Adam, and your advice might be right. Apparently there's a process with sterling silver where you have to, there's a word for it, heat it and bring it up to a certain temperature, and then you can enamel it. But anyway, instead of explaining that properly, this woman was being a right fucking arsehole. And I actually contemplated leaving the group because she was so awful. But then I thought, I'm not going to let one awful person ruin my chance to learn about enamelling. So I've stayed in that group. And other people have been much nicer, but I just kind of feel like they act a little bit kind of elitist in there, like they've got something going on, like what the fuck, Whereas most of the other silversmithing groups have been very supportive and nurturing and guiding and encouraging and motivating. So it's a bit odd what went on, very odd. But anyway, so I decided, since I didn't have I don't have a kiln and I don't have the skills to enamel this little bracelet. It's very sentimental to me, even though my mother was an asshole. That the bracelet itself is delightful and I've worn it since childhood. So I decided to paint it with enamel paints. Not enamelling paints, but, normal enamel paints like you use for models. And it came up quite nice, but of course I was trying to replicate the original little details and patterns on each charm. And so I was disappointed that it wasn't exactly how I wanted it. But anyway, here I write. Unfortunately, I could not remember all the actual colours and had to sort of fudge it a bit. I am a bit disappointed as it looks a tad amateur now, but it still looks better than the stripped off charms. So here it is after I painted it up and then varnished each little charm. And I must admit, I don't wear it hardly at all anymore because I'm scared that the paint will peel off and then it will look ugly again, and the whole fucking thing just is depressing. I would have liked to have got them all re-enamelled professionally, I guess, but if I sent it away to one of the experts who clearly kind of made me feel like I was somehow fucking inadequate, right? Which wasn't very nice, by the way. And I guess they probably charge a lot of money for their labour and their time and their skills. And one day, Mama T, who has her own intrepid, resilient, determined nature, might actually just fucking re-enamel them myself when I learn how. Like, why outsource things to strangers who are condescending and vicious when you can learn to do things all by yourself? And then you get the satisfaction of saying, I did this my way and I did it myself and I don't need you. Ever. I've been doing a lot of that lately in the last 4 years, learning things for and by myself, realising what I'm actually capable of. And like that little bunny that wasn't perfect, but I pushed my way through and I finished it and my daughter wears it. And, sometimes you've just got to be a bit intrepid and never let the bastards grind you down, am I right? That's right. Yeah, it's weird because I contacted that enamelling group only recently, actually, about another pendant I had that wasn't enamelled, but I wanted to reproduce with enamelling paint. and there was a sale on a Kodak of enamelling paints, and I asked them, politely, what do you recommend as the best paints? And I got this long lecture again on almost like someone being very, very myopic and pedantic, focused on one little thing, and telling me again that I needed to buy this book. And then so I looked up the book. So I thought, oh, well, I will buy it, and then I'll have the book and I can learn from that, right? I thought it was quite good advice, although it was very over the top in a way. Anyway, I went to buy the book, and the book was only available via Kindle, and I don't want to buy books for Kindle. I want a hard copy book, and that they didn't have on Amazon the ability to buy the book as a hard copy, and then that ground my gears. So I thought, I can't be bothered. I'll just fucking forget about it, man. But now I'm annoyed because, they told me what book to buy, and then it becomes, jumping through hoops and the impossible dream, am I right? Oh, it's just awful. But look, the person that was responding to me, was trying to be supportive, I guess. She probably didn't realise that the book's not available in hard copy, and, or probably prefers to buy her books through Kindle, so it didn't blip on her radar, but it frickin' imploded on mine. I don't want Kindle books. I want paper books with real paper and real pictures. And if I want something, digital book, I usually get them through, where did I get the last digital book I bought? It was a book about the last regime of the last 4 years. It was very interesting, actually. I did get that as a digital download. Anyway, this art book I wanted on teaching you how to do enamelling was like not available as a book, as a paper fold up with a spine, authentic, real book. So, annoying anyway. But my friend Laura Martin thought that the bracelet looked great to her, which, she's so supportive. I have such beautiful friends on Facebook, I really do. And my cousin wrote, Melissa Rose wrote, "It's gorgeous, I love it. I've always wanted a charm bracelet, and now I have one I bought from a second-hand stall at Rusty's Market, though not as nice as yours." Oh, sweet. My cousin is transgender, male to female. So it's sort of sweet thinking of her buying herself a little charm bracelet. Still in 2021, I posted a photo of my hyacinths that were coming up, which they're sprouting again. And it's all very lovely. What else do we have here? I've been feeling very isolated and abandoned this week. Perhaps I should go dancing tonight, but it's cold and rainy. Perhaps I should stay in my hermitage until the weather gets warmer and more congenial. But I have an inkling I'm going to have to break out soon. It might do me the power of good. Ramjet are playing at the Brooklyn Standard tonight. Tempting. So that was 2021. Wow. My friend Brecky wrote, "It might be the full moon. It's a powerful one with positive aspects, so have fun when you go." And I replied, "The moon has been calling me all day, but Bobo wants me home safe and snug with him, lol." Bobo must be a Cancer, wrote Brecky. "I even had a dream about Sting singing about the moon, shine, shine." And I replied, his birthday was 20th of October, so on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio. But yes, he has a very Cancerian home dog's body. He has very Cancerian home dog's body control dramas. I stayed home just for him, tucked up in bed at 12:21 a.m, soon to sleep. And my beautiful friend Brechtje, who lives in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, wrote, "Good night, moonshine." She's gorgeous. Here's a photo of the beau. I love that photo of him. He's so cute. I said, "Shall Mama go dancing?" But he gave me this look. "I'm gonna stay home. I am a sucker for those eyelashes." I am indeed. Here he is. Didn't want Mama to go dancing, so he gave me this very, very smoochy bedroom eyes. "Stay home with me, Mama. I'm your best and only doggy." So I did. I was probably feeling a bit tired too if I didn't push myself out to go dancing. There is that. Here's a cartoon or meme I shared from Sacred Wild Woman Medicine. And I laughed so much, and I'll show it to you. I laughed so much when I saw that, because that is kind of me on full moons. "Does the moon influence you?" says what looks like a male figure to a female, flying everywhere all at once in all directions. And she replied, "A little." Very delightful. I don't have who the actual cartoonist is, so I can't give credit to them. But whoever you are, that was delightful. I really liked that. So there you go. 25th of June 2020. I had a lovely afternoon today, comforted by both Lynn and Peter, whom I thanked for not deleting my life stories on the last hard drive. They are indeed valuable, even if they are often traumatic reminders. I feel very loved and protected by my friends. Bobo had a lovely time chasing the ball and gnawing on the delicious bone Lynn bought for him. Thanks, Auntie Lynn. He then promptly buried it somewhere for next time we visit, the rascal. Then I met up with Jared at Capalaba Central, as he had bought me a glass jar in the shape of a hippopotamus, for my glass collection. Very cool. I use it as a lolly jar. Then when I got home, the corks I had ordered online had arrived from my other glass jars that had ill-fitting lids. So it all looks very professional and lovely in my witchy cupboard, where I keep my herbs and spices, laughing my ass off. 25th of June 2019. Be'ezrat Hashem, which is Hebrew for by the will of God. I am grateful the hospital kept me in overnight. I have been extremely weak and ill. I actually was pissed off about not going home early. Thank all the gods I would not have made it. Actually died briefly during the night post-surgery. Nurse gave me lemonade to assist with reflux issues. Sweetness and light. Lemonade had never tasted so good in my life. It tasted like lemonade. It's amazing what nearly dying will do for you. I feel very protected, nurtured and loved unconditionally by the nursing staff during the night, by the way. From the comments section, 1:26 a.m, first food, yay. A photo of a sandwich I actually begged for, as I had not eaten since the day before. They left me that long without food, and I was starting to kind of lose my shit because I was very, very, very hungry. So they had to go downstairs to a ward down, a level down, to get me a sandwich, which was kind of them. And once I had food in my guts, I kind of settled petal a little bit. I just got dragged from labyrinthine healing depths of sleep for an OBS check. First proper sleep I've had, but I'm doing well. Got to sip some water and sleep more. Just jumped completely away. I don't even know where that went. Where did that go? Dear Goddess, love you all, kiss. 5:55 a.m. just woke up for morning ablutions. That means I needed to pee. Oh, such a relief to be a bit more steady on my feet again and to pee. I never ever take for granted after my first major surgery, and to take that for granted after my first major surgery in 2007. I slept deeply from 4:25 a.m. until now. So I had an hour and a half sleep. So exhausted. In pain again, but will weather that until the next dose of endone, unless it gets too bad. Modern medicine is miraculous. Yes, it can be if it's not administered by feckin', sadistic, acopic, psychosexual, useless assholes. Just saying. Thank the gods for endone. I'm glad they stopped giving me tramadol because I had a reaction to it and spent, about an hour vomiting, which wasn't nice. You need your pain relief when you don't feel the least bit high, but merely astonished at being alive and feeling better incrementally each time you are woken up. Eating yogurt, which is soothing on my dry, sore throat. Yay. Probably from the intubation from my surgery made my throat very sore and dry. It tastes delicious, like life itself. Winky face. 11:11 p.m. The gods are on my side, but my body is struggling. But I managed to have a pee in spite of wanting to vomit, which was a reaction to the tramadol. Doctor is coming to review me. From the comment section, Kellyanne asked, has he been yet? I replied, nup, but I just asked for a sandwich as now I don't feel nauseous. I am hungry, laughing my ass off. That is so typical of me. I can be very desperately ill, but yet need food. It's weird, people. It's very weird. It is a good sign. My psychiatrist says I'm incongruent, which is a polite way of calling me weird. Do you love it? I love it too. He's a wonderful man. It's a good sign that I finally want to eat, but they may not let me due to the vomiting. On only water. It seems the lemonade, which was the lovely P&G nurse's idea. She said, I think you need some lemonade and a little bit of sugar hit and you'll feel better. It seems the lemonade has revived me slightly, although my oxygen levels are quite low. I was about to find out exactly how fucking low, by the way, babies. So food might just give me the kickstart I need. Mama T is perpetually incongruent, smiley face. Lol, gotta wait 20 minutes for a sandwich as the fridge on our floor is empty and the lovely nurse has to run downstairs to source one for me as it is after hours. I have not fasted like this, now 26 hours, since when I used to observe Yom Kippur. It's true, man. I hope I keep the food down as my higher mind has spoken. It was my mind that wanted the food more than my actual brutalised post-surgical body. Pardon me. The staff here are wonderful. Makes those perverted sadistic ghouls at pre-admission look like amateurs, and they were the specialists. But Jesus, that was really fucking terrifying. But time to let go of anger, let in food, and fucking heal my body. 11:55 a.m. Still waiting. Oh, that was actually from the day before, waiting for the earlier that morning, waiting for the surgery. 11:55 a.m. Still waiting, dreaming of chocolate and my nice warm bed and worrying about Beauregard because I had to leave him alone for the whole day and night while I was in hospital. So I worried a great deal about him. Would have been nice if certain people had taken him and looked after him properly for me. It's just awful, the stress I was put under. Fuck, I said, this is interminable. I am third on the list and there is a gentleman waiting before me. So this day drags on, tempted to just go home. They didn't do the surgery till about 5 p.m. that evening. So, anyway, me, 1:32 p.m, still waiting. They just gave me another warm blanket. My cousin Megan wrote, be patient, cuz, hope you're closer now. My friend Kellyanne wrote, you're going to be okay. Focus on your breathing. Inhale, exhale, longer on the exhale. Repeat. Update. This comment proved rather prescient as I almost died during the night and was following my long exhale, wondering if I was ever going to inhale again when a nurse heard my oxy monitor on my thumb or finger screaming and ran in to check on me. It's when she ran in that I kind of jumped back into my body again and came back to this planet. And here we are, babies, 5 years later. My cousin Megan wrote, the air conditioning is cold in hospitals. You can freeze to death waiting. Nil by mouth. Ask them, when is your op going to be? For fuck's sake. They got me in there at 8 a.m. that morning and made me wait all fucking day. It was just rude what they did to me, really. They just took my blood pressure. Hopefully that is a sign it will happen soon. Almost 2 p.m. now. Here I write, I did not get surgery until 6 p.m. So I remembered that wrong. I thought it was 5 p.m. I was under for 2 hours. That can't be right, that I was under for that long. Unless they really fucked something up. But anyway, maybe I died on the operating table and they didn't tell me. Could explain why my lungs shut down again post-surgery too. My friend Julie wrote, that's a long day. And I replied, absolutely. I thought the fucking abortive colonoscopy was an ordeal. Jesus. But at least I'm not shitting through the eye of a needle at 500 paces. And Julie wrote back, so are they going to keep you awake all night? And I replied, I hope not, as I will go hypomanic if I don't sleep soon. And Paula wrote, it's 3:20 p.m. I hope that you were sleeping. And I replied, did not get out of surgery until 6. Was out for 2 hours. Well, if that's right, then I went in at 4. Yeah, there was some confusion as to what time they actually did the surgery and how long I was under for. I keep saying I was out for 2 hours, so someone must have told me that. It's odd. Bit of a mess, had trouble waking up and integrating, but glad to report that the Tanya, Mama T, is back. Yes, she was. She was back all right, babies. 8:11 a.m, sitting here at the surgical ward waiting. That was when I arrived that morning. I dreamt this morning a recurrent dream that some idiot had stolen the fountain head from my pond pump so the water was gushing up like a geyser. The water was clear and powerfully pumping, so I took that as a good omen. Then my beautiful Sally messaged me and kindly offered to drive me to the hospital. Just as I stepped outside to let Bobo pee, I saw the beautiful rainbow. This day is already full of magic and wonder and loving, supportive friends. Everything is going to be fine, except it wasn't. They dragged it out, and then during the night I nearly died. And there was the vomiting from the tramadol and the reflux and the hunger and the fury, and it was an ordeal that whole day and night, really. But my friend Kellyanne wrote, "Yep, you're going to do great. It's going to be fab when you're fully recovered and actually feel well and normal as you should again." I didn't. "Much love and sweet dreams as you come around after your dreamless anesthetic nap. Love, Cal." I replied, "Thanks, Cal." 1:01 p.m. still waiting. Here I write, "Morning blessings at sacred space." And I took a photo of the rainbow that I saw as Sally was about to drive me to the, it's hard to see on the screen. I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's a rainbow going in this direction. Anyway, it was, I took it as a positive omen. I guess it was, because although I did come close to dying, I got kicked back into this body and kick-started again. Am I right? The spirits actually told me when they returned me to my body that they were returning me to a hellscape of epic proportions, and I remember begging them, "Please don't send me back, please don't, I'm done being tortured, please don't do this to me, I can't take any more, please don't do this to me." And they said, no, you're on a mission and we're sending you back, and you need to tie up loose ends and complete your time on planet Earth. And here I am 5 years later and still kicking on and fighting the good fight. So it would appear that after my very bad illness 2 years ago, by the way, yet again, that the gods and the angels and the spirits and, are determined for me to stay here on planet Earth and build a new kind of life for myself, bit by bit, moment by moment, day by day, as I've been doing for the last 5 years. I write here as a caption underneath the rainbow photo, "Sally is picking me up and driving me to the PA hospital. Thanks so much, Sally." Thank you, Sally. It's very kind to me. Very kind friend. Here I write, "Survived a cholecystectomy at the Princess Alexandra Hospital. Sweet Moses, I'm running out of organs, but that operation was surreal, bizarre, and something out of hell." Pre-admission on Monday, 24th of June, was an exercise in sadism. So many lewd, inappropriate comments from the male specialist team and one female bitch of a spirometry nurse who smirked at my distress as I struggled to breathe. Oh, she was vicious. Young woman. Horrible fucking thing she was. Anyway, surgery happened so here I say again, surgery happened at 5 p.m. I've been waiting since 8 a.m. However, the nurses both pre-op and post-op were wonderful. The young, bolshy, redhead male anaesthetist decided to fight me about CPAP just prior to my going into the surgery, into the theatre, I mean. His worthy female, I mentioned this yesterday in my video, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but here it is written down again. His worthy female Japanese-Australian assistant kept bowing to me. She could see my blood was up. She gave me the absolute best cannula job I've ever had. No mean feat, given I had been nil by mouth since 10 p.m. the previous night, so I was fairly dehydrated. I did not even feel the needle going in, and after surgery I had no pain in that hand either. Wonderful young woman, a great doctor. But shit hit the proverbial Tanya fan when the next morning there were some bizarre games played with me about take-home medication. I was made to haggle for my take-home medication, which, by the way, I was furious about being condescended to like that. I was made to haggle for my endone like an Arab in a souk. A souk is, a marketplace. Anyone who knows me knows I abhor haggling or begging for what is rightfully mine by dint of human rights. But I haggled with the female pharmacist like a good little sportswoman, and we decided on 10 tablets. I got her up from 5. Then doctors came up to tell me they were discharging me. I was still in a great deal of pain without endone, so I hit the roof. Not just because of the pain, but because of the degradation and humiliation I had endured at pre-admission, 4 hours of it, then the odd little skirmish with the young anaesthetist, then on top of it being sent home without pain relief. They quickly sent my surgeon up so I could tell him directly and unequivocally, I think that should have said unequivocally, unequivocably? Yes, unequivocably that should read. What kind of vermin he is. The entire team appeared to hear exactly what I had observed or comments I had to make on their performance. The entire hospital team, including the charge nurse, other nurses, a man I could not quite identify but I think may have been there to be in the capacity of a physiotherapist. Told him I didn't need physiotherapy as I was done and I was going home, and he was not part of all the systemic abuses that had occurred, so he did not need to be privy to that meeting, and he stayed out of curiosity and at one moment blurted out in defence of me actually, which was odd. So I don't know who he really was, if he was one of the resident psychiatric residents or who he was, but it was a bit bizarre. Anyway, the rest of them got a bloody good bollocking, which they were well deserved, by the way. I felt like an 18th century matron, me, with no qualifications or training, except for my PhD in life event by epic pain. Ultimately, after channeling all my energy and rage at the appropriate people, whilst praising the nurses for their wonderful care during the night, if not for them I would have been dead, by the way, as I am always fair and reasonable, even in a crisis, I became somewhat hysterical. I was in a lot of pain post-surgery, having to deal with all that emotional shit. Pardon me, that pie's bloody repeating on me too. Energy just kept building and building from behind me in waves, like someone was almost pushing into my back, driving me to keep going and keep fighting and keep fighting, keep fighting. And even I was, in my own essence, kind of trying to pull back because part of me feared they might take me up to the psych ward, am I right? And every time I sort of try to pull back and rein myself in, I had a spirit pushing right in the small of my back, going, no, you keep going, you keep expressing this, they need to hear this. It was very, very intense, and powerful and, by the way, spiritual. So repeat again, energy just kept building and building from behind me, meaning they were driving and pushing me in waves. My angels no doubt gifting me superhuman abilities as I was so weak and ill and needed proper treatment, not having to raise myself from my own ashes and near-death experience, by the way, and fight an entire fucking hospital. I actually told them to send the mental health team and my psychiatrist, as they will be very, very interested to see this state of affairs. I actually heard my young surgeon, whom I had just torn shreds off, mutter, "No, you are not crazy." Strange confirmations from the void. I waited a bit longer for the mental health team, and what I expected would be a takedown. No one came, so they really didn't think I was crazy, by the way. In other words, deep down, they knew I was justified in my fury at how badly I'd been systemically abused. So Mama T, the Tanya, did what she always does best, walked out on her own 2 feet, tears streaming down my face. No one cared, no one, but I cared. I cared that no CPTSD patient should ever be put through that again. Only to be met by my daughter, more epic fighting when I was vulnerable. But that is the end of that story too. Done. Then bizarrely, when I got to the chemist, I discovered that the script the nurse had meaningfully pushed into my hand while eyeballing me, this was while I was yelling at the team of doctors, by the way. She was very brave. She was an Irish woman, really good nurse, and stood by me and backed me. So she was trying to show me that there was enough there, right? Enough tablets on that script. But I was in such a rage, I just shoved it in my bag without looking at it. But anyway, had pushed into my hand while eyeballing me that I had contemptuously stuffed in my bag without reading, mid-shrieking like a banshee at that doctor, had not 10 indones, but 20. I told the chemist there was some sort of mistake, as I had been forced to fight like a hellion from the 7th echelon of hell for just 10 tablets, which I had deemed would be enough. He just smiled and wished me a lovely day. By the way, I only needed 12 tablets. I stretched them out as they were so precious, as I was in so much pain. I am writing this 19 days later, still weak, still get pain, but not as bad or as often, in the sunshine with my bird and dog, contemplating my existence. Balls I have got. Great, big balls. 25th of June 2018. Cold grey morning. Lucky I took the opportunity to fully enjoy the gorgeous sunny day yesterday. I would have felt severely disgruntled if I had missed out on that. Our winters are mild, but it was lovely to be able to enjoy lying in the hammock on a warm afternoon again. I wonder what cosmic surprises today has planned for me. Every day is a blessing and a gift when you wake up, still breathing. The sunshine has come out. Yay! 25th of June 2017. Donald Trump is the political anarchist's gift that just keeps giving. He does it all by himself with no help at all. Poor wee president. I had a lovely walk in the forest with my true loves, Beauregard, whose name means beautiful outlook or beautiful gaze, and Charlie. We sat on a large flat rock and I talked to you-know-who about you-know-what, and Charlie sat on my shoulder and explored a shrub, and Bobo the clown dog eventually settled to sit quietly in meditation beside me. It was very soulful and quiet and blissful. I had to change my t-shirt when we got back, but shit happens and birdie num poop is good luck, right? Of course, right. Oh, happy news. My fucktard awful neighbours across the road from me have finally moved their car that blocked my driveway and made it so hard for me to back out onto the road. 6 months of that epic horse shit. Council refused to assist as they said the car was legally parked. So I hope they have moved it permanently, as it was such a huge stressor, not just for me, but for my visitors. Fingers crossed they don't park it back in that horribly inconvenient place. I think they finally realised that I narrowly miss hitting it every single time. Superficial friends, sighs. This is a later post of the same day. I need to change my life again. What is the next paradigm going to be? Give up dancing and take up some other calmer hobby, like breatharianism, so I can enter the light unencumbered by excess baggage in the saggage. Joke, I like food too much. Wrings hands. I think I better think it out again. But later again I wrote, I have a hat and no daughter, a body but no mortar, a heart made out of band-aids and superglue and rubber bands, a mind that is intrinsically beautiful but only comprehended by a few, a capricious, vengeful God who sends slanderers and despots to dog me in forums. Now that was weird. And a few jolly good but odd fellows. Fellowship of the Ring or summit like that. Later again I wrote, what if, with 3 question marks. I'm just so angry that being in love with a man who played me has meant that now, when I get my first interesting offer in 2.5 years, that I had to forego the opportunity for intimacy and sex because, like a stupid alter hexa, that means old witch, and a proud Jew and a wild Viking warrior, I am sticking to my integrity to not fuck or be fucked by anyone else who does not absolutely, totally, and completely love me, as anything else is just a long, slow declension of death for me, a travesty and a despairing, tainted stain on my heart and mind. What if I am scared of being used and manipulated, then dumped again? What if I love so wrongly that I am my own worst enemy? What if I was never meant to be in this life at all? What if I fucking know better? What if my heart will go on without me, and that is more terrifying than death? Say what? Meh. Better get up and greet the day, as have been babbling for hours to the void and the avoidant, and frankly, I am hungry now. Feed the hungry beast. From the comment section I wrote, because you still believe. Oh no, that reply came from my friend Tarina. Because you still believe in the delusion of what love is. You're getting glimpses of what love really is when you open up yourself to the joy of the moment. You're still believing in this romantic nonsense, the illusion that if you are loved, you will be saved from everything. I say bullshit unless you love yourself and vibrate with that love. You will never really know what real love is. She's got a point there. It's not the giving or receiving of love. It's the vibrational state of being or existing. It cannot be given or received. It exists in you, or it doesn't exist at all. You have glimpses of that truth, but you still hang on to the old beliefs. Here I post a lovely photo of a little skiff there. I think it's a skiff. Some kind of yacht or small ship or small seagoing vessel of some kind. Lovely sails on it. Here I write, my bloodlines were seafaring folk, gritty, bloody, salt of the earth, questers and questioners, spiritual yearners and learners, occultists and also abusers. Their wisdom gained from book learning and from trauma, masquerading as false gods of enlightenment, endeavouring to ride on the coattails of a man who was a powerful mage in his own right and a fierce force to be reckoned with. My biological grandfather, Antoni Petula. I once asked the Holy One, blessed be his, her, they. God has no gender, people. Name. To be afforded the abilities of my ancestor. A folly. One can only step up to one's own inner secret power, one's own unique gifts, talents, exhortations. One can never aspire to be any other mortal or God or spirit, as we are each created in a uniquely exquisite way. We may return to oneness, but we return with our own unique soul signature to the cosmic soup of the Ein Sof All, forgiven but not forgotten in the great supra-consciousness of the creative mind. A dot on an impressionist painting, a will to create a resonance on a chord of a musical instrument, a breath without breathing, waiting to exhale, and an involution of all that was expelled into the universes. We shall return and turning every season for every reason, and it is all love. Anyway, I started writing this, but got on one of my mind slip-flipping spiels to mention that on Friday at Ecstatic Dance, I had been blessed with the imagery of a floating, absorbing cuttlefish or squid, swallowing all the life that it swims through and pushing itself through the oceanic depths. Push, pull, Inhale. Exhale. Ingest, digest, floating and flowing on a gigantic, lonely sea, going nowhere but here and there and everywhere at once as a source of existence. Then yesterday, my image was of that great and mystical bird that has flung itself over my shoulders since infancy. My derelict, evil parents used to quip, "You are so unlucky, you are so unlucky, Tanya. You must have killed a Chinaman in a previous existence." I suspect I was a great and powerful warrior, and the blood of many lay upon my hands, as my karmic path in this one has been one of failure to find and receive true love partners, and cursed with sexual abuse from childhood, disease, treachery and poverty, things given to me easily and freely, then wrenched away by deceit and vicious spite. Aye, my hearties, that albatross doth drag me under into the depths of my consciousness, but she flies in the face of my dereliction and predilections to scramble on the edge of a craggy abyss, to scuttle and shuffle to my feet and be taken up again into the fray. The albatross loves me. I love her. I flung her off my shoulders once, lay down to die for the 1,000th time, but the ineffable bitch was back by morning. So what can the Tanya do but kiss and kiss the hag that lied, and the crow that cried, and the whimsical birds of fate that came too late, but took her up on silent screaming wings and soared across the ghost ships of her mind. Ships, magical vessels that cross worlds and paradigms, that are significantly female and open and holy guardians of the spirit. Men must penetrate them, convert them, name them, rename them a misfortune, or blame them. Birds, even the beleaguered albatross, must fly the length and breadth of oceanic delights for a safe landing, and a wise captain must master the tempests and the forlorn and wild sultry trade winds and the hefty, tortuous, back-breaking tosspots of the cresting waves, and pray for, or in my blessed berserker grandfather Antoni Petula's case, whistle a wind to break the life-threatening, thirsting, carrion-calling becalmment. Ergo, no accident that his progeny feared the illusory calm waters so very much, as well as the great and humbling storms of our existence. May we be blessed with enough, more than just barely enough. I wax greedy and impatient as I take up space on this planet, and I want my creature comforts if I must sojourn here into ancient, moribund torpitude. Ha ha ha! manifest. Bitch, good luck with that. But I have been richer before, although my true wealth is hardly pecuniary. That is my superpower. What's yours? I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine, and that too is my albatross. I won't let go of my hopes and dreams and my passion that is both my blessing and my curse. So I suck it up and fuck it up and luck it out and keep dancing through the delusion and the illusion into a spiral back to my own light. Shine on, sisters. You will never know if you don't glow with the shape of an L on my forehead. China girl. My dickhead parents could be racist, but sometimes they were clever and witty and funny, and they failed to kill me in so many innumerable ways, but they emboldened me to be a creature they feared from my very first breath. Backhanded across my face, gifts of primary existence, life force, a love that defies all other loves, as it is beyond human expression and human ken. I am so angry that I never received my apology from the filthy, low-life scum merchants of hate. But I don't need their acknowledgement of their own pain and projections. I need nothing from the dead or still living that got on that train wreck from hell. Hellions of ancient mariners, fear no evils, plural, but that of their own failure to protect and defend our own minds and our own times. Everything else is just a fabrication of a sick and twisted hive mind, and perversely will implode and shimmer away like a mirage. Genug, enough, and more love, light, and peace, knowledge, wisdom, and strength, joy, comfort, and a life that is ennobled, precious, and worth living. So mote it be. Not in a distant, unattainable dreamscape, but in my now. Awake after 5 hours sleep and dancing for 4 hours last night. Again, I'm definitely going through a shift, but I am hypomanic, happy for no reason, but going with the flow, as happiness is a rare and precious jewel in my paradigm, and a well-deserved one. A young man I met on Friday night came to watch, this time from a distance at the opposite side of the dance floor. I found his pattern of voyeurism intriguing. That is how so many wannabe lovers conduct themselves. I ignored him. I am too old and too tired to play weird, emotional, psychosexual games. By the end of the night, I felt quite disgusted actually, as it is both demeaning and disconcerting to be treated like an object of voyeuristic desire and at the same time contempt. So needless to say, I'm very glad I did not fall victim to his charms on Friday night. And yeah, long-term celibacy is a pristine and often lonely state, but occasional random sex with strangers, even handsome younger options, is no longer enough to give me any sense of comfort or release. I have learned through a long, slow, traumatic process that real loves don't use, abuse, betray, or stalk you. Real loves invite you out and bother to get to know you without agendas. I'm so in love with myself right now, standing staunch and courageous and fragile and beautiful in my own unique feminine mystique, like a lotus flower, but not letting myself down and falling prey to any more predators. Wow, baby steps. I was consumed by a big love yesterday, so wrote a long letter to my beloved who, thank God, ignores and rejects me as he just writes me off as insane. That fucking dead shit. That worthless, feckless, barely man enough, contemptuous asshole, by the way. So I spiral up and down, waiting. That's how you know I'm over him, when I've reached that point, babies. So I spiral up and down, waiting for Godot, for my own healing, for Ho'oponopono to correct the wrongs in my own existence, and for time and or space to shift into perfect alignment with all my highest ideals and actualizations, so I can manifest a life I desire and deserve without stumbling into pits of hellish discordance and brutal despair. Just as an explanation, Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian healing technique where you repeat the words. Let me think how it goes. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Which it is believed in the Hawaiian tradition that if you repeat those words as almost like a mantra over and over again with your enemy or someone that you're having difficulties with, that if by doing so it kind of diffuses any negative attachments or enmity or hostilities or anger or malevolence or malfeasance is attached to that entity or that other person. And you can do it just by thinking of them in your mind and repeating the words over and over. And it's believed to, even though that person might not be meant to be in your life or come back to you in any meaningful way, it's a way of healing that broken relationship or connection, and to help you let go, let love and move on, and then be able to, in time when you've healed completely, invite true friends or a better business partner or a better lover or whatever that connection represented, to fill that void of the person that had really badly let you down or worse, harmed you. So I have practiced Ho'oponopono in my day, and to varying degrees of success. Depends on how damaging the other person was or is. And yeah, it's an interesting healing modality. So that's what I meant by Ho'oponopono. 52 years old. Let's be real here. So I wrote this 7 years ago. It is too late, and I am so very sorry about that. But I'm happier in the past few years, and I'm back up on my feet emotionally, albeit not financially. And people come and people go, and some drain and some abstain and some retain. And I know how this goes, this long, graceful dance to oblivion, but it is a majestic blossoming and an unfoldment. Happy and grateful to watch the false delusions fall by the wayside and to carry on in my own beauty and integrity. Naked and sacred, but aware and alive and resonating on a vibration that is eternal bliss and a wonderment. 25th of June 2016. Beauregard had a lovely time at the dog park. He is such a happy chappy. The sun was shining and the wind had finally dropped, although it was still cold in the shade. I saw a doppelganger of another of my recent lovers, lol. A young man who looked exactly like a photo of him when he was young. I got really tripped out for a few moments. The universe is clearing me by forcing me to bear witness to the past and present, and healing me by showing me all the men I loved so much are now leaving my life and energetic connections. For a moment, I felt tragically sad that I have been denied love for so many, many years. But then I looked around at the trees, the sunshine, my Beauregard running and playing joyously, and I thought, well, this is the love in my life. A greater, more sacred, more nourishing, more authentic love than I ever got from a man. God is great. Whom am I to resist my fate? I've been dancing on one spot, blocked by walls put up by enemies, for so long that now I'm finally free. I do not know how to move past the now illusory blockades. Perhaps it is wise to just be in the moment and let the ones who are genuine come to find me for a change. I don't know. I have been shown by the past few days of symbiotic doppelgangers, ghosts of dead loves, past and present, that everything is going to be okay. It is not my fault I was never chosen, and if I was quickly discarded by weak men in their quest to conquer. They feared me. I know that. They knew I was aware of their need to destroy or dominate anything still good left in me. But they failed. Moved on to easier, more malleable, more facile targets, laughing my ass off. Well, my happiness is my own. No longer a mirror ball reflection of happiness shattered and refracted to please someone else's idea of me. My happiness is deep inside me. I have had to mine it like diamonds, explode the hardened bitter ground and dig deep, deep down into a fragile inner core. Nothing lost and nothing gained by living every day, just as it is. Another headache from coughing. I might stay home tonight. I had a wonderful time last night, so why ruin a good thing by risking a mediocre night? 25th of June 2015. Mushu, always beside me, too. Oh, dear little Mushki. I miss him. He had a habit, as a very young cat, of visiting a lesbian couple that lived up the street from me. And they came to see me one day and they said, "You need to keep your cat in at night." And we're sick of him. I went, "What do you mean?" They went, "Oh, we wake up every morning with your cat lying on the pillows beside us, looking into our faces." And I said, "Well, it wouldn't be the first time you had a pussy in your face, would it?" And they were like deeply offended. And but I thought it was fucking hilarious, quite frankly. And I said, "Has it ever occurred to you that maybe you might keep your window shut so that strange animals can't just climb into your bedroom and appear on your pillow to stare at you when you wake up? And by the way, if my cat can climb in through your open bedroom window, like, are you even safe? Because who else might break in and open your windows?" They said, and basically never spoke to me again. I guess it was a bridge too far, laughing at them about having a pussy in their face, but frankly, I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I'm an LGBTIQ ally. It was like meant to be humorous, not casting aspersions on the fact that they were actually gay, which they were actually gay. So it was like prima facie, like factual observation. But anyway, little Mushki had taken a liking to that lesbian couple and liked to wake them up in the morning with a sweet little Mushki face waking them up. He was a lovely boy. I think they took him to the RSPC or the pound or something, because eventually he just vanished one day. I think they got rid of my Mushki. Suppose it was easier than shutting their window, wasn't it? Cows. I was annoyed about that when my cat disappeared. But to be fair, they might have been innocent. He might have just, got skiddled on the main road or moved in with some other human, as cats often do. But he was a nice cat. He was. My Mushki. Liked the ladies, he did. Doesn't matter what their sexuality was. He didn't know they were lesbians. They were just two women. Obviously, he preferred their bedroom to mine. Anyway, it was all very weird. But anyway, I think they sold that house in the end and moved on. Stupid women with no sense of humour, by the gods. Lots of good stuff money can't buy. Money, however, is always a welcome addition to my goodly stuff. Could do with another glass of water, actually. 2:05 p.m, back to bed I go. I nearly killed myself dragging out the root clumps, of that heathenish grasses I pulled out earlier this week. I couldn't get to do them all. I almost hyperventilated and blacked out. I had to sit on the ground for 10 minutes until my ears stopped humming, my vision cleared, and my breath settled down. Mushu, my beloved boy, came and sat with me and shadow boxed with me until I was well enough to stand up. See, he was a lovely little cat. I also brought the wooden nesting box from under the house and filled it with straw and installed it in the Silkies' coop. Too cold for them to sleep on the bare ground, I filled up their grain feeders and got them fresh water. 'Twas the digging that finished me off, though. Oh well, bit of fresh air felt good. I have been bedbound for weeks. 25th of June 2014. My dad had a saying, I know the sea like the back of my hand, but sailors have drowned for bragging about that. Smiley face. He's right about that, they have too. I had my 3-weekly debrief. In those days I only saw my doctor every 3 weeks. My amazing doctor, this was in 2014, people, the last time I was in love. My amazing doctor says I am in love and had a major dopamine hit, smiley face. He likes the sound of the new guy too, says he gets me, likes me, has respect for me, and even though he is coy and cautious, is not being abusive. Pity that didn't last long. In a matter of weeks he was being abusive. So there is a real possibility for a good friendship. No, there wasn't. But I hung on for some reason that makes no sense except to the gods. Time will tell. You can't hurry love. You just have to wait. It don't come easy, and all is give and take. Sorry, silly moment here, but y'all get my vibe. 25th of June 2013. Sick as a dog. Inevitable, really. Fuck my life. Oh well, another internal battle with infection and a bad chest. I am glad I've got some living done, even though it has made me run down and sick. This body just refuses to tolerate any cold, and the weather has been so damn confusing. Humid for a few days, then rain, then bitter cold. Coming home at 3 a.m. the other night in a heavy frost was the final straw, as I was already sick. But the air was so crisp and invigorating, despite the cold and the sleety fog. I felt so alive and at one with the cosmos, with that crazy, sexy moon building to its crescendo 2 nights later. I even walked a few, my hand's sore. Ouch. I even walked a few city blocks to enjoy it. Cramp. Walking alone in the cold with few other people around made me feel like the city was mine and I was happy. Then again, after the bullshit at Irish Murphy's on Sunday night, meaning my sexual assault, I strolled the streets for a while to think and cool my rage down, trying to work out why my life always goes so very wrong and why I am under constant attack. No answer to that question, so I walked and gained a sense of balance with the night before driving home. Yesterday, I got my hair done and I was so exhausted I fell asleep in the chair. I look nice though. I remember that. My friend Kylie was so kind to me. I literally passed out, I was like, with exhaustion and, waiting for all the foils to set. And I woke up practically drooling with another client just staring at me, probably wondering how I could sleep so deeply sitting up in a hairdressing salon chair, am I right? Yes, that was a bit weird, but I was tired. 25th of June 2012. I smell money coming. Not nearly enough for my reasonable standard of life quality, but better than nothing. Wheels are rolling, going down the road. Whee! Soon, I hope. No, I had to wait till the 6th of September. I guess it wasn't too many months after. Yeah, 3 months later. I've been outside being all primeval, building a fire in my brazier. There is something very satisfying about a wood fire in winter. The friendly possum kept a close watch on me from the fence line and later the roof. Her silhouette against the night sky on the apex of my roof was rather enchanting. Bella got a bit too barky though, so we had to go inside. Final orders tomorrow. The end of the will dispute trauma at long last. No, it still took 3 more months. The bastards. Anyway, 25th of June 2011. My heart is full. Thanks, Michelle, you made my night. I've been loved by many friends who more than make up for the other nightmarish bastards along the way. I hope I always can keep my heart full with love where it is most needed. I am truly blessed to have reached this point in my life. Thank you. Sounds a bit like Ho'oponopono too. Just so there's no confusion, the nightmarish bastards were my own immediate family growing up and many of their boyfriends and a few of mine. Lol. I learnt a lot about evil from that lot and happy, deliriously happy to have survived them all. Looking forward to a clean, bright, shining future, free from old crap. Woohoo! Here I am, 13 years it's taken me to finally be free of all their ancient crap and have a measure of happiness in my dance spaces with my beautiful friends. And today spent with my beautiful friend Lynn, and yeah, finally have a feeling of peace and joy and excitement about my future for the first time ever in decades. Just having that feeling of equanimity and hope and bit in loveness. Oh, baby girl. I had a lovely day with Sybil. Like a cheeky nature sprite, I was hanging off the lime tree, picking limes and scrambling under the lemon tree, collecting lemons, and I loved every minute of it. Well, I thought that was the day when I went and she ended our friendship, so I must have got that muddled. It must have happened after that, because I do remember that day when I helped her collect fruit from her trees, and we did have a lovely day. It's funny how yesterday I didn't remember that and synced it up with another event that was indeed awful. I loved every minute of it. Sybil was lovely and sewed some clothes for me, so I was very spoilt today. Still in 2011, close-up of earrings. I lost one and the other one I melted down, so I need to buy myself another pair of big gypsy gold earrings. I'm so happy it took me months to pay them off. Then I lost one. Then Gail found it in her car, so they are now at the jeweller's being made stronger. I don't want to lose them again. And they were lovely earrings, and yeah, I wouldn't mind getting another pair of big gold hoops again. I guess I got plenty of earrings though, so it's not really a huge priority, but oh, they did look lovely. Update 25th of June 2022. Ultimately, I lost one, so the remaining earring I melted down with the rose gold cufflinks I bought for $35 in a second-hand shop back in January 2021. Did you think they were $65? Don't remember them being $35. Well, anyway, back in January 2021, which precipitated my silversmithing journey in a rather bizarre spiritual way, because the gods are crazy, but in that instance proved they really have my back, even though they won't get off my back. I also melted another charm, so altogether I made a rose gold heart from the scrap gold and still need to buy a gold jump ring and gold solder to attach it, or I could take it to a jeweler and get them to add a jump ring in gold for me. Yeah, still need to kind of do that so I could actually wear it as a pendant. Me looking uncomfortably too much like my half-sister Angela. I wrote sister, but she's really my half-sister, which is funny because she has always claimed that only Gisela and I look alike. Silly cow. Stupid silly cow. Foul, evil, perverted silly cow. But look, you haven't got a photo to compare it with, but I happen to know in that photo, I look very, very much like my sister. Genetics, people. 25th of June 2010. Clean sheets, dirty house, but clean sheets. Back to bed, I think, for some major snoozing, so I can schmooze tomorrow. Had good news this arvo from my lawyer, so I want to be a fly on the proverbial wall. Just imagining the outcomes makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, kind of giggly, sigh. Too early to celebrate, but hey, the rainbow is smiling upon the pot of gold, and the pot of gold is smiling back. Hardly. What I didn't know in June 2010, only to find out on 6th of September 2012, was how very, very badly I was going to be screwed out of my rightful inheritance. So there is that. Anyway, 12 years later, darlings, Mama T is still Mama T, still holding on while letting go and having occasional fits of pique and rage, because it really was awful what was done to me, not just with that but in my entire life. But I'm happy, I'm free of them all, and I'm free of all their evil and their bullshit and their ignominy and their con artistry and their ripping off merchantry. I'm free of all of it. So thus concludes today's readings of even date, although technically it was yesterday's readings because it is now 12:25 a.m. of the 26th of June 2024. So I may and very likely will come back tomorrow with a reading of for the 26th, and I'm very exhausted now, and it's time to go to bed for Mama T, Miss 5, Psychedelic Dreamer. So Lila Tov, good night, and have a beautiful day wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And I must admit, I rather enjoyed reading through some of my prose and poetic type musings and that came up in today's memories. So sometimes I enjoy reading it out to you and revisiting my own creative musings, and it's very edifying when I have new insights into my own psyche and my former self, and I can see how far I've come in life, or how far I haven't come, as the case may be. But my intentions were always honourable, and I fought my way back long and hard, and yeah, I had a lovely day yesterday, and I feel immersed in great love and beauty and joy. And so yeah, good night from all of us here, Charlie and I and the wild birds at Titania's realm. Bye for now.